Hello, welcome along to the first ever Joe's, Jockeys and Jackpots in partnership with BoyleSports, your weekly YouTube show. It's going to be fast-paced, it's going to be fun. And I, Dave Orton, your host, are going to be joined by two guests each week, okay? We've got the stud, who's a famous fan of horse racing, in this instance, from the reality TV world, who is steeped in the equine world. It just happens to be Tristan Phipps, of course, of Made in Chelsea, and I've got former jockey as well, Luke Harvey, with me as well. And I was wondering who was going to be...
I wanted to be the stud.
I don't know what to call you, really, Tristan.
Probably not a stud.
Well, listen, I don't know. Anyone that watched Made in Chelsea might disagree with that. You're also a ranger as well, aren't you?
Yes.
Rangers are extremely incredible people. They can tell you about constellations, conservation, and it turns out horse racing as well.
Well, I'm hoping my knowledge of grass succession is going to get me through this.
I've never met a ranger before.
Well, there you go.
Well,
Never
lone
met- I've
ranger,
never
but
met-
that's about it.
Have you ever been on a game reserve before?
Don't want to talk about it, but my first marriage, ill-fated marriage, I went on a riding safari.
The ranger nicked your wife, didn't he?
The ranger didn't, unfortunately. No, the holiday lasted longer than the marriage.
And of course, you did this in South Africa, right?
I did, yeah.
Which is
South
kind of where
Africa.
you were born.
Absolutely.
And you made your way over to London.
I did, yeah.
Okay, and your love of horses has kind of joined you along the way.
The honest story is I actually had an ex-girlfriend who...
It's about exes, isn't it?
I had an ex-girlfriend
Different
who
podcast,
worked
this
as
is.
a horseback safari guide. So I thought, I've got to get involved. I've known horses for years. My family have had them for a long time, but I've never really jumped in and kind of become a horsey person myself. But now I'm changing that all.
Well, we're going to put that to the test today.
Please.
We are 2 weeks out, pretty much, from the Cheltenham Festival, that magical time of year. Have you been many times to Cheltenham?
I have, yeah. I've been twice. Had a fantastic time both times. Couldn't really tell you too much about what happened on the day.
Blurry experience.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Everything was a lot, a lot to take in.
Yeah,
Won
okay.
some money, lost some money, had a great time.
Yeah, okay, from a broadcasting perspective.
Well, it's a big year for Cheltenham because, as you know, they're under cost last year. People were moaning about the prices, the experience, the numbers were down. They've got a new CEO now who seems really, really upbeat. And I think, although I still think the numbers, that'll be the headline story, that numbers will be down again at Cheltenham. I think you'll find that the atmosphere starts to improve. People had a downer on the festival for whatever reason leading up to it last year. I don't feel that this time around.
There's only one Cheltenham, isn't there?
Yeah.
Starting to get a bit magical now. All right, shall we crack on and get out the gates? Right, out of the gates then. This is about what happened at the weekend. Topical news, and we've got to start with Paul Nicholls. 13-time, 14-time champion trainer. Luke, I'll come to you with this one. Racing media, if you like, Twitter, X, whatever you call it, Instagram, anywhere you're looking on socials, up until 2 weekends ago, Paul Nicholls has gone at the game. You cannot have it anymore, and yet he's been at the top for so long. Last 2 Saturdays, bounces back, Grade 1 at Ascot.
Yeah, he has had a bit of a wobble. I mean, the last, probably 14 years, he's been nearly unbeatable. He has been unbeatable, but some of his better horses, he hasn't got the calibre of horse that he used to have. Some of his real stars have retired. And he has, he'd normally operating at about 20-25% strike rate sometimes. He's down to about 10 or 12% at the moment. So by his standards, it's not great. But he's still got plenty of fire in his belly, that's for sure.
You can't keep a good man down. You must have watched him from afar as well. It's a little bit like, you could put it into football parlance, couldn't you? Okay,
Yeah.
We're seeing at the moment Man City this season, for example, been totally thrown out by the likes of Liverpool. Even Aston Villa are up there now. It's hard to stay at the top.
What I'm about to say, is it just a couple of losses and you're suddenly kind of knocked off the throne? Is that
Well, you know what it's like. Everyone,
Yeah,
if
you
you're
expect to
boxing,
win.
you spend your whole career
Yeah.
trying to get to the top, and then they can't wait to beat you down off the top. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, so with the Cheltenham Festival in mind, I mean, he will have the bit between his teeth for this, won't he?
He will, but traditionally he doesn't do very well at the Cheltenham Festival. He normally saves a lot of his better horses for Aintree.
Yeah.
He'll be busy, like everyone, because owners, trainers, everybody wants to have a winner at Cheltenham.
Of course, everyone's looking towards Cheltenham. It's not just all about Cheltenham. We've still got a couple of weekends to get to. We've got to celebrate these races. Really good day at Kempton. But it's a great day for the Welsh, of course. In the big handicap, Sam Thomas does it time in, time again. And Karat Dory, wasn't it, his youngster that came out. And Ben Jones, a jockey who's just absolutely on fire. Some of his last 11 of his last 13 rides have been successful.
Normally, generally speaking in sport, the good players don't make good managers. It's fact, they don't, and it's exactly the same in racing. A lot of the top trainers, or top jockeys, don't make good trainers. Sam Thomas was a brilliant jockey, and he's turning out to be a brilliant trainer. Numerically, not so, because he hasn't got that many horses, but he is mustard. He gets it right on the big days and wins all these big races. So yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, and this guy possibly could go off favourite now for the ultimate Cheltenham as well. We mentioned Ben Jones, young man going forward, now a Grade 1 winning jockey, of course. Aside from him, Luke, who do you think you can give the viewers that might be about to break into that magic number sort of, of jockeys? We've got 2 or 3 at the moment, haven't we?
I think you'd like this guy, Tristan. He's a guy called Gavin Sheehan. Now, he's not under the radar by any stretch of imagination. He's had 90 odd winners this year already. His numbers have been increasing year by year. He's a real maverick rider. You could never sort of teach. There's a traditional way where you teach someone, keep your heels down, straight back and what have you. He does crazy things in races. He suddenly sort of veers off and goes on the outside. Then he comes across and he sometimes drops horses right out the back foot. But whatever he does, it seems to work for him.
Yeah, there's every chance he can notch up another Cheltenham Festival winner this year, isn't there? I think.
He's got some really, really good rides for his main stable, Jamie Snowden. But he'll pick up spares as well.
If there are any jockeys riding at the minute, are there any? I mean, who'd you last have your winning fiver on?
Well, the one I'm looking out for at the moment, and we had a chat about this earlier, is Ocean Murphy.
Oh yeah, O'Sheen.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult name to say, actually.
O'Sheen. I just love this kind of maverick attitude some of these jockeys have. I think it's
I
really
think most of them.
Yeah, but you have to go that
Sit
fast.
next to one, basically. Yeah, exactly. The biggest maverick of them all. I think he had a winner at Saudi at the weekend, didn't he? I think on the undercard, because of course it's been the big Riyadh meeting, of course, all the the prize money there over we see. Did you guys see the Hong Kong legend, I suppose you have to call him, the very best of the best, says James McDonald, his rider, Romantic Warrior, who'd been on this amazing winning spree, and he switched to the dirt races, a surface he doesn't know at all, and he comes up against other Japanese trained Forever Young. Luke, people are talking about that as a race for the ages.
Do you know, I saw a recording of it. It was absolutely extraordinary. When you see, there's nothing better in any sport, seeing whether it's a person or a horse, but 2 horses trying their absolute guts out. They just wanted it so much, and to watch those 2 horses, the only downside of it was someone had to lose, but it was just a remarkable horse race. They pulled so far clear of brilliant horses, and I'm just praying that some of these foreign horses come over now. The Australians had for Royal Ascot. It'd be lovely to see a Japanese horse win at Royal Ascot.
And that was a race for the ages. We saw Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, who's now plying his trade over there and seeing out his career, of course. He's really making a name for himself over there. There he was as the runners were coming in as well. Great to see people like Cristiano. It's good for the sport. All right, that was the weekend. Okay, it's time for us to put Luke up against Tristan in our prediction game, Choose Wisely. Each have got a yes and a no paddle. Yes, I'm assuming is green, and no is red. Luke, you put up the creek more than most. You know how to use a paddle. Anything you say yes to is going to be bundled into a special Jockeys and Jackpot prediction, okay, on the BoyleSports site, all right? So paddles at the ready. Let's pick up the pace. I said it was going to happen. First question coming in. Will Paul Nicholls train any festival winners this year? That's a no and a yes. Luke, no. You said he was coming back.
Well, no, I know, but traditionally he doesn't do particularly well at the Cheltenham Festival. Well, in recent years.
Class is permanent, right?
Well, I just thought he's had enough success over the years. Maybe he's got a chance for Cheltenham.
He's going to bang one in. All right, his former apprentice then, Dan Skelton, took the festival by storm last year, put it up to the Irish. 4 winners. Will he match that in 2025? Luke?
No.
That's a no. Both no. Why not?
14th seems like a tall order. I mean, that's a very successful year.
He's got a very strong team going there, but to get 4 winners...
It was a fluke.
No, it wasn't a fluke, but it's going to be hard.
One of the best jockeys riding out there at the moment, Charlie Deutsch. Will he ride a winner at this year's festival? Yes or no?
The old grouch has gone no again.
I need to be following Luke's answers.
You've got to interview him, Luke, as well. I hope he's not watching this.
I'm a glass half full kind of guy.
Yeah, he's a serious rider, right?
I think so, yeah.
All right, here's a good question. Will a retired Premier League football manager own or co-own a winner at this year's festival? That's Sir Alex Ferguson. Harry Redknapp, for example.
No.
I've gone no.
No! Unbelievable. Yes. Harry Redknapp's the jukebox man is out, isn't he, Luke? That was his big chance, wasn't it?
That was the one I was worried about. He would have had a right chance, but yeah, I don't know. I can't see it because most of Sir Alex horses are with Paul Nicholls, and if I don't think Paul Nicholls is winning, I don't think he is. So.
He's got a few for Skelton, hasn't he, as well?
Yeah, a few.
Load of sud in the Arkle, maybe, yeah. Right, okay, let's go to the GOAT, okay? This is the mighty unbeaten Constitution Hill. Of course, the comeback from injury, unbelievable. Nicky Henderson's got him back. He's unbeaten in 2 starts this year. Will he win by 5 or more lengths?
Yes.
Finally in agreement.
Yes.
Okay, so we're just going to let off the handbrake over the last, Nico.
He's just by far the best horse. He's the best horse in the world as far as hurdling goes, and he'll win very, very easily.
Yeah, he's come back, isn't he? He's at the top, and he's the kind of horse we need, Tristan, right?
I completely agree.
Well,
My money's on him.
We're talking about crossovers.
You want a lot of it then, because he's going to be a short price.
Okay, here's an interesting one for the Brown Advisory Novice Chase. This is on the Wednesday then, when stamina is at a premium for the novice chasers. Will Ballyburn, last year's Ballymore winner, who's sensational at the Festival over hurdles, will he win over fences?
Back to the negative.
Oh, unbelievable. But no, you can't have him.
No.
Don't buy it.
Don't buy it.
He won well last year, but I don't know. I haven't been that impressed with him jumping fences.
He's what we call tripless, isn't he? He's sort of in between. He's never been over the 3 miles, of course.
Yeah, it just looks a bit laborious to me.
I
But
don't know. This is Willie Mullins, though. They just tend to win these races, don't they? I'd be a yes for what it's worth. Will a female jockey win at this year's festival? Battles up?
no.
Yes.
Luke, come on.
I know,
Unbelievable.
there are plenty of good female riders out there, but numerically they don't get as many rides at the meeting. Rachel Blackmore's got a chance on a couple of horses, but generally speaking, I don't think there'll be that many female participants.
All right, not this year, but Tristan, you could see it.
Well, I'm being optimistic. Obviously, I haven't got as much of a numerical concept as.
Well, the amateurs are fantastic, aren't they? Eugenia Andrews, now Ellis, she is as good as any of them.
Paul
right?
Nicholls' daughter, actually, Olive, rides a horse called Shearer in the Hunter Chase. That would be a topical winner, but
That's why I'm going for yes.
Yeah, but
Yeah, there you
it's
go. Knock it
about
in the top
25 to
order.
1. So yeah, that's her.
Final question. No paddles for these, so no paddles. All right. You can add one of Gallopin Deschamps, of course, going for 2 already in the bag. 3 Gold Cups. This would be unprecedented. Joining the likes of Best Mate, the brilliant Best Mate Arkle, and the likes. Or you can have John Bond to win a champion chase. This is the question. John Bond is 4 to 5 at the moment with BoyleSports for the Queen Mother, and Gallopin Deschamps 2 to 5 on. They think it's pretty much in the bag. That's non-runner, no bet. So you can add one of these to your predictions. Who are you going to have?
Galloping.
Yeah, put the same Gallopin.
So it would be green.
Yeah, definite green for Gallopin Deschamps. He's looked imperious this year, and I think his last 2 runs, the last one was in the Irish Gold Cup, I think they're the best he's ever done in his whole life, and he's a magnificent racehorse, and I think he'll win again.
Go into the immortality ranks. Have you seen him, Tristan? He's amazing.
I have, yeah. Even from the amateur standpoint, seems like
he's an
a
absolute
good bet.
beast.
A winning machine,
Damn
an
right.
equine cash point. We like those. All right, so that gives us enough. We are going to send off those predictions now, whether you agree with Luke, whether you agree with Tristan, to the brains at BoyleSports and find out what odds you can get. So the brains of BoyleSports have come back to us and they've said, if you agree with Luke Harvey, Constitution Hill to win by 5 lengths or more and Gallopin Deschamps to win the Gold Cup can be backed at a special price of 11 to 4. As for Tristan, his predictions: Paul Nicholls to train any winner at this year's Cheltenham Festival, Charlie Deutsch to ride a winner at this year's festival, a female jockey to ride a winner at this year's festival, and Gallopin Deschamps to win the Gold Cup again, you can get at a combined price of 10 to 1. Go and take a look at BoyleSports.com and the BoyleSports app, and remember, please gamble responsibly. Right, it's time for In the Saddle. This is where Tristan Phipps metaphorically jumps aboard a horse and gets ready to ride. Are you ready, Tristan,
I
for
was,
this?
I was hoping for an actual. I had my chaps on underneath. This.
There's an image. Question 1. Is this your first time in the saddle?
In the saddle, like
Yeah.
metaphorically.
Well, when was
I've been
the first
on.
time
I've
you
been on
ever-
a horse before.
Yeah, when was the first time you ever rode a horse?
First time, when I was a baby, very little, and I think I had the courage then. Maybe I don't have it as much now, but yeah, I was on a horse from a young age, very young
This
age.
is in South Africa.
No, this was in the UK. So my family have got horses in the UK. My sister was an eventer. We have a livery yard. So I've been around them a lot.
So you had the opportunity. You almost had to
Had
do
the
it.
opportunity, yeah. But I
Did it
came
terrify
out.
you at
Well, I
any
came out
stage?
with 13 stone, so I wasn't able to be a jockey, sadly.
Well, amen. Amen. I mean, I'm absolutely terrified of sitting on horses. I can't
Yeah.
do it.
No,
Alright.
sitting on them is one thing, but I think going at the speed that you would go at, I think is a very, very, very different thing.
So you were surrounded by horses at home,
Yeah.
and you were a part of that fraternity, if you like. When did you start watching it on TV?
I've always gone to the point to point. So Boxing Day point to point
Yes.
toaster was a family tradition, one of our favourite traditions. So I kind of grew up going to the point to point with the family. Then since becoming an adult, going to as many races as I could, Cheltenham, Ascot, everything in between. Love the point to point.
Point to point is so good. You just rock up with a picnic, bring all your own food.
Yeah.
It's a bit of live racing as well. Get really close to the action. It's brilliant.
Really, really fun.
The biggest hill in racing, wasn't it, Telstar?
Yeah. Steepest track, yeah.
Hence the fact jockeys like Luke could win big races on slow horses, you see.
I mean, it looks exhausting, yeah.
That's basically how it happened. And you've owned horses before, you and your family, haven't you?
Yeah, we've had, not race horses, we had a share in a racehorse. Didn't do particularly well, couldn't tell you the name. But we've had horses, on the farm for years.
Are you thinking about getting your agent hat on your bloodstock hat? Because you can sell horses, Luke, can you?
I'll tell you what, come down
pop
on the weekend.
Why do you have a job swap? It'll be ideal, wouldn't it? I think
You got a mate in Chelsea?
Yeah.
And I'll do my TV racing.
Do you think they'd notice?
I don't think they would.
I mean?
Yeah.
Should have been made in Cheltenham
As soon
one
as I get on the
time.
horse, I'll notice, that's for sure.
Yeah, okay, all right. So you play polo, as the picture up there pretty much shows us. The polo is your thing, isn't it?
I tell you what, it looks like I know what I'm doing there. Yeah.
How did that come about?
So I got asked to play in a charity polo match. So I said yes. I'm not sure what level they expected, but I played. And about 10 minutes after that photo was taken, I fell off and broke 2 ribs.
Oh,
So I don't know if that's success or failure, but I finished. It was the last chucker.
so this is the one-time experience.
No, I played a few matches, but this was the last time. This photo was taken just before.
What's it like playing polo?
Bloody terrifying.
Is
It's
it?
terrifying. Yeah.
Were you very nervous?
I wasn't. I think I probably should have been. In hindsight, beautiful thing. I just thought I'd be able to just do it. Turns out you can't. One of my best mates was in the team opposite me, rode me off.
It was him?
It was him. Wrote 1 foot out of the stirrup, front flip over in front of my ex-girlfriend as well, which is probably the most gutting part of the whole day.
Hence X.
Yeah, she
What
was
made
nice.
you more nervous then, that or starring in Made in Chelsea?
That definitely. I think
Made in Chelsea?
No. Horses at top speed are far more terrifying than some of the characters you come across on Made in Chelsea. I'd say, yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I can deal with the people. I can't deal with the horses.
All right, we're getting to know you, Tristan, quite well now, of course, because I mentioned at the top of the show you were a ranger.
I was.
Which, again, just to remind people, if you go on a game reserve in South Africa or anywhere in the world, predominantly South Africa, you get toured around by these rangers. They're incredible people.
Often wearing very short shorts.
Yeah,
Yeah, that works for you, did it? Yeah.
sure.
I
Made
actually
in Chelsea director came along, did he?
Well, yeah, I was hoping to actually wear it today, but I think the producers weren't happy with me wearing really short shorts.
Still winter, man. It's fine. Okay, so you spent some time, proper time in the bush.
Yeah.
Right, with the big animal, the big five.
The big 5.
All of them.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Now, what qualities do you think horses actually bring to the world, then, if you know animals so well?
I think so. I've spending a lot of time with people who ride and kind of people in the equestrian world. I think that respect for the natural world. I think riders very much show that to me. I think I'm very connected to the natural world. I think looking at the way animals conduct themselves is a great way for humans to learn.
Yeah.
There's a social order. There's a system that works. I think we've gone very opposite way to that as humans. I think animals just teach you how to be kind of mindful, present, and conscious of your actions. I think. Maybe you guys would agree.
There's a definite attachment when you deal with horses all the time. There's something about them,
They're honest.
Yeah. Well, that's it. They
there's no
don't know how
bullshit.
to lie.
You get
So
some
this
good
is an
feedback.
interesting link. So you spent some time with horses,
Yeah.
a lot of time with horses. So when you go racing,
Yeah.
do you walk into the paddock and go, I think I might have a more of an angle than someone else there?
I think that's a no.
Yeah, I go, do you know what? Oh, check it out. No.
Or do your mate sort of say to you, come on, is it fit? What does it look like? Is it beautiful?
Okay,
Is
let
it-
me just get Luke on the phone. What's that, mate? No, absolutely not. I'm not qualified enough to
Are
make
you
this
able to
decision.
study form and would you have any idea?
I mean, I reckon I could spot a healthy, good-looking horse, but I probably wouldn't, between a selection of champion horses, I probably wouldn't be able to physically see.
I mean, you
what I'm
have to
looking for.
follow racing, don't you?
Yeah.
You
But
know,
it's refreshing, isn't it? That Tristan, he's got a love of horses, and yet he doesn't know the form. But you can still have an equally good day. You don't have to go
Yeah.
through the form. You might see jockey with a nice set of silks on that you like, or whatever.
Yeah.
There's-
Or the name of a horse that kind
I
of.
think sometimes horse racing people make it too difficult. Sometimes people are, it baffles me, the form. Who cares? Go and back the brown
Yeah.
one. If that's the case, if you want
the one
to.
with 4 legs running in a straight line.
just a bit of advice. Look for a 1 next to its name in the form. That'll
Yeah.
often help rather than
Okay,
a
that's
0.
what we go for.
All right, okay. All right. Well, thanks for that, Tristan. You were our first ever in the saddle. How do you
Thank
feel
you.
after that? Better, no doubt.
Stunning. I feel like I'm qualified.
You like it?
Thank you.
He does look
I
at it,
feel
doesn't he?
so qualified for Cheltenham. I think I've learned so much now. In fact, I might actually sack off my career as men Chelsea and become a jockey.
I feel like I need to go and see more Made in Chelsea episodes now.
I don't know about that. I think let's just focus on the racing.
Do you think any of your co-stars will watch this and think, I quite fancy one?
I think quite a few of my co-stars probably fancy themselves as racers, actually.
Oh, what, jockey?
Well, what we lack in ability, we make up from confidence.
Go on,
in the
name
reality
some
TV world.
names.
There's one chap in particular who backs himself at every sport.
Let me guess.
Every opportunity. Go on.
It's going to be Lang, isn't it?
It is Mr. Lang. Jamie.
So he rates himself,
He's
does he?
convinced me before he'd played professional rugby. He's taken on this ultra marathon challenge. Fair play. I think the next one is to get him in the saddle. He's got the right height and weight
Got to
requirements.
get him in the britches first.
I don't think I have any problems with that.
That's where you come in, Luke. Yeah, absolutely. Stick around if you don't
I've seen
mind.
him on,
Watch this space. All right. Well, that's literally all we've got time for then on this first ever Joe's Jockeys and Jackpots in partnership with BoyleSports. I'm Dave Orton and I'll be back at the same time next week. Get your comments in below.